The night sky is clear, and moonrise over Eden is a beautiful sight. She turns her beautiful face on the world below, and everything is lit in her silvery radiance. Aboard the orbital, locals gather on the observation deck. Lovers hold hands, poets sigh and begin their musings, and astronomers gasp while others just gape in silent wonder. Amidst all of the admiration, a single voice says,
"Hang on, that's no moon. Eden doesn't have a moon."
"Don't be daft, snow moon's in Banter, you big door bender,"
pipes up one feckless yokel.
"No,"
says the first yokel.
"that is not a moon."
It's about this time that panicked screams start. Someone runs past with armfuls of toilet rolls, and we know that panic is real. Locals start running around like headless chickens, but really disorganized, chaotic headless chickens who could still yell, "We're all going to die," at the top of their lungs. Some drink all they can get their hands on from the bar, others start looting McThargoids, and an orderly queue forms at Wonders. And one Cubicle 3 attendant finally throws caution to the wind and has a go at singing Delilah on Karaoke You Like. In the control room, things are a bit calmer. Snoz is on the vid phone to the commander of the Alvin station. As it turns out, the inhabitants of Bakshi Manufacturing Complex were a bit jealous of the neighbours in Seoul who had their own moon and wouldn't let anyone land on it. So they built an inflatable one of their own to light the sky up above 2045 PC2. All was well until someone decided to drop a prospector limpet onto it for a laugh. The drill pierced the skin of the moon that's been flying around Alpha Centauri, making fart noises in the vacuum of space ever since. He gives the thumbs up to Colin Olcars in Studio 5. The emergency broadcast system sputters to life, and a voice says,
"Please remain calm. Our mics are live."
Just a little misunderstanding. I'm Colin Allcars, and I'd like everyone to stay calm. Nothing to see here.
I'm Wilma Fingerdew, and I'm glad I realised what was going on before I cashed in my golden ticket at Wonders.
I'm Juanker, and I just drank a whole bottle of Centauri Megagin for medicinal and embalming purposes.
"I'm Norma Snockers, and I think it would be lovely to go to a balloon moon. Think of the nice soft landing you'd get."
And I'm Loose Knockers, and I'm not panicking.
Right, let's get those headlines done. That'll chill everyone out.
Aegis and Tanner throw Maelstrom a spanner.
The do's and do nots of Alvin.
Too Hot, Too Messy, Week 38 update.
HS56 is back, and wow, does he have news.
And I'm sighing with relief and squeaky bum time avoidance.
With Tharg the Mighty quite firmly on the run, or at least standing still quite hard, as a result of Hackswing and allied pilot activity, attention has turned to Commander Aidan Tanner and friends over at Aegis, who've been tolling, tinkering and testing all manner of technology in the hopes of turning the table on Tharg and starting to push the Green Mini back. At the heart of this activity, and supported by Commander Alec Turner, who inexplicably took a sabbatical from racing around things, off things, over things, into things, and drawing rude things into the dirt on landable planets, has been investigation into the apparent local source of Thargoid activity, namely the Maelstroms. With the sheer number of Thargoid vessels spewing forth in the vicinity of each maelstrom, there has been speculation as to whether each one is a gigafactory of green goo spouting meanies, or a portal to Thargoid HQ, often suggested as being in the Col 70 sector. Whatever the case, it's quite clear that in order to stem the advance, we need to be getting to the heart of these things, and either A, pulling the plug and letting it all drain into witch space, or B, putting the plug in to stop whatever is round the bend climbing out and making us scream in a most untruckery fashion, or C, fitting a complicated series of siphons to prevent the level going over the overflow outlet and instead drain into somewhere unimportant, like Alliance space or Colonia. In order to do this, there's one remaining challenge. Unless maelstroms are like onions and designed in layers, and of course to make you cry, anyone who gets too close is subjected to a mega energy backswing and a hit, causing them to be sent into the full home run, boundary leaping, green in one, flying leap, that is, in sporting competitions, would win awards. But in the elite universe, ends in rebuys and a sore ass. So, Tanner and team have been tinkering with the Thargoid shutdown neutralizer and working out how to turn the dial up to 11. They've tried turning the dial itself, but it snapped and fell off. They've tried adding a power amplifier, but it caused so much feedback that their underpants melted. They've tried a giant space ear trumpet attached to the front of one of their test vessels, and it appears to have worked briefly, but a passing police ship identified it as a Vuvuzela, and as such banned throughout the galaxy for being flaming annoying. They've tried mega materials and micro materials. They've tried tuning it for the bass and the treble, and even passing it through the kind of flange that people describe as just plain dirty. After all of that, they think they've cracked it. They've wired it up to some rather large batteries, and in forthcoming days are preparing to bounce the mega Thargoid honk back in the opposite direction, opening a window to the heart of the maelstrom and being able to take the first metaphorical steps into the lion's den. Of course, at which point Tharg's going to shout, "Get off my lawn!" and set his or her, or their dogs, on everyone. But at least we'll get some cool pictures.
Hutton officials had to send an urgent station-wide reminder this evening after a number of commanders skipped their arrival safety briefing and went from attempted belly rubs with our Lord and Master Alvin to, "I can't believe his security team mistook my fingers for sausages." So, for our listener, here are a few important pieces of information. Hutton Orbital's fearless leader is indeed four-legged and benefiting from a fluffy belly and a wet nose. Etiquette demands that one does not approach Alvin, that's his name in case you weren't sure, without first approaching his assistant Snoz, being patted down for any incriminating dog treats, and given permission to address his fluffiness. Treats. One may not offer Alvin treats without first handing a sample to his approved treat taster general. After a few minutes, if the treat taster hasn't dropped down dead, you might be offered the opportunity to offer one to Alvin. Please be aware that any loss of fingers at this point is not the responsibility of Hutton Orbital, and such offerings are deemed to be entirely at your own behest. Especially if your fingers actually look like sausages. I better watch it. Alvin is at all times monitored by a detachment of Norma's bog spaniels. Yes, their legs are very small and their bellies very low to the ground, but as security patrols go, they have a lot of things in their favour, mainly momentum and pointy bits at one end, plus of course looking about as dangerous as a platypus in a baby grow. We do not recommend that any visitors to the orbital attempt to tangle with the security teams, but instead either A, make your way to the bar and enjoy a glass or two of Centauri Mega Gin, B. Just admit yourself to the infirmary in advance, and Nurse Wyeth will give you a there without the need for teeth marks.
After 38 weeks or 9 months, Too Hot, Too Messy, the Hutton-led initiative to deliver a Hutton Mug and Centauri Megagin to all the stations in the galaxy, has reached over 70,000 deliveries. 70,003, I just checked. Anyway, again, last week was down significantly on previous weeks, in fact with only 968 deliveries. This is the third lowest week ever, and the 4-week average has fallen to below 1,200 deliveries. No new commanders have joined the effort this week, leaving 286 commanders signed up, representing 94 squadrons. Hutton still has the largest contingent with 78 commanders who have delivered 34,000 mugs, but this is just less than half the total, so thanks to all the other squadrons taking part and delivering a bit more than the other half. The Buckyball Racing Club is still in second place with over 4,200, the Winged Hussars are in third with almost 2,900, the Paladins are in fourth with 1,800, the Burpit are fifth with 1,400, the Undead are in sixth, the Anti-Xeno Initiative are seventh, 70-odd mugs ahead of the Soteria Court in eighth. He who shall not be named is still leading the deliveries table with over 9,200 mugs delivered. Some say he's back from his week off and has restocked his fleet carrier. Waller 81 is second with over 8,300 deliveries, ahead of Nem in third with over 5,100, and Shay Blackwood is romping up in fourth place with over 4,100, ahead of Infinite Dreamer in fifth on 2,500. Commander M. Gray of the Paladin Consortium became the 12th member of the 1,000 Club this week with a perfect 1-to-1 mug-to-gin record. Of course, we know all this because it's tracked live in the Too Hot, Too Messy event page in the Hutton Helper. In addition to trying to impress the station barman with your mugging prowess, there is a chance to win a real-world handle at a jaunty angle dishwasher unsafe Hutton mug. Any commander that delivers 10 mugs and gin in the weekly Thursday to Thursday period will be entered into next week's draw to win a real Hutton mug, unless of course you already have one. 36 lucky commanders have accomplished this so far, and you can see a little gold mug next to their names in the top commanders table. Last week's winner, after a steward's enquiry, was Dog's Body D. Apparently, Commander Warren Beatty opened the wrong brown envelope claiming that Commander La La Land had won the mug, but the error was corrected, which may have involved a visit to the airlock. Keep listening for this week's winner to be announced in the banter bit after the news. If you had delivered 10 mugs and gin in every week since the start 9 months ago, you'd have racked up at least 380 deliveries, and only 32 of you, or just 1 in 9 of signed up commanders, have managed this. If you haven't, why not give it a try and share the burden? In order to join in the fun, you'll need to sign up by downloading the Hutton Helper from hot.forthemug.com/download, and there you can sign up and your mug and gin deliveries will be automatically registered for you by Antares' artificially intelligent Nexus 8 replicant hamsters, which come with a limited lifespan, but real lab-grown fur.
Good evening, truckers! It is 5060 reporting in with the latest updates on the Thargoid War. We're holding back the Thargoids, and news of a new technology to stop the massive pulse wave inside the maelstroms has been released, perhaps giving us a way to finally stop these invasions once and for all. Humanity cleared 28 systems last week and have only 4 active invasions to repel this week. We're doing amazing work containing the maelstroms, and in several systems we've even regained control. It's a hard fight, but we're finally starting to show signs that we will win. Hackswing has valiantly fought alongside our allies in the Mode Alliance, saving Haides Sector ZZ-OB6-1, HIP 21991 and HR 1812. Congratulations to our brave pilots who have saved the lives of so many. Your orders for this week, Haxwing, will be to defend Ariatis Sector DQ-Y C-18 near the Indra Maelstrom. Evac and combat pilots are needed, as well as biopsy specialists and supply runners. We've got Tharg on the ropes, truckers. Let's keep up on the pressure and send them back to the dark depths of space. See you on the front lines. For the Mog!
A quieter week after the turmoil of last week, where we managed to avoid losing the system by the thinnest of margins. 4 systems find themselves on the naughty step this week. More on those stories coming up. Stein 2051 is the surprise newcomer at the bottom of the pile system this week, falling 10 points in a week, from the mid-40s to 34 for no obvious reason. There's no immediate threat, so give the system some love and raise it back to the 40s where it's most comfortable. The next newcomer in the basement is Hill Passy, which has seen an even bigger decline from the 60s over the last 3 weeks, again without obvious cause, leaving it on 36%. Joining it on 36 is You Know Where, which is apparently cause for a public holiday, investment, civil liberty, and dogs and cats to live happily together. Imagine what they'd do if they ever get into the 40s. A war for second place is tying up half of the influence, so give it a day or two before trying to boost Barnard's star. Last of the problem system is Alvin's newest plaything, 3605 on 38%. A war is tying up a quarter of system influence, so give it a few days before making that second longest of super cruises. Last week's crisis was quickly swept under the carpet on Friday when Hutton won the last day in the war against Blue Hyrox Corporation, leaving everyone in the bar so drunk they forgot how we got into that situation in the first place. In Minge Cut, Hutton are within a day of snatching second place, before weeks of fanning around, trimming down the gap, and carving another notch on Alvin's kennel. It's just a shame it isn't controlled by the Brazilian League of Pilots. At the overachieving end of the Hutton systems table, we have 3 systems on or above 60%. We expanded into the Wolf 629 system from Wise 08550714 last week, which caused Alvin to give Snuggles a disdainful look, a long yawn, and then go back to savage his latest chew toy. I think we all understand that message. Priorities this week are, if you want to truck something, be like Banter and boost a Stein. That's Stein 2051. Oh, and he'll have Passy.
Seamless.
Pretty much, was it?
It sounded good.
Sounded good.
It's been so long I don't recognise themes anymore.
Some voices we hadn't heard for a while.
Yes. And our extra special button pusher for tonight, the effervescent Overlight.
Press the right button. Woohoo! So I'm slightly distracted while I'm landing my ship, but never mind. Carry on. Do carry on.
Yes. So, I think the buttons went all right.
I think they did.
It
did.
Yeah.
Have you ever considered taking this up full time instead of those other 2 that normally frequent these parts?
Yeah. I think the trick is have just the right amount of beer before you start.
Yeah, I've heard on the grapevine that they're both over Germany tonight. Do they know something I don't?
David's back here now.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Oh, he's returned from a successful op.
Yeah. But not back in time yet.
Yes. And the other one's in Hamburg. We know what happens in Hamburg stays in Hamburg.
I feared for a second that was a euphemism.
So did anyone see the live stream?
Nope. Did you?
No, I never see the live stream.
No, I know. It's just as well you didn't see it today because there wasn't one.
The one time I attempted to see the live stream, They didn't take one off.
And now, of course, it's
I thought you were going to say after the one time. I thought you were going to say at band camp. But anyway, there we go.
And now it's every 4
time
weeks
at
instead of 2 weeks. So
There isn't one next week either, is there?
No.
Well, there is. There kind of
Next
is.
one's on the 18th.
Yes. Well, Frontier are live next week. In fact, they're so live they're in the flesh at the Science Museum next Thursday.
Too far for me.
I've conned Tiny into taking me down, but she doesn't know that Frontier will be there.
Yeah.
Very nice.
I'm going to.
Yeah.
Sadly, a week too late.
Boo.
Yes. So May the 4th is not with you. No. Right.
If it'd been in Manchester, wouldn't it been all right?
Maybe next time they'll visit the provinces.
Is that what it is? May the 4th?
Yes.
May the 4th. Have you just got the joke?
No.
Star Wars Day.
Yes, I might actually be in the vicinity, but might be busy. But you never know. You never know. Stranger things have happened.
Well, if you tell me what kind of thing you're in the vicinity for, I'll make sure it happens, so you have to attend.
He can't tell you that. He could tell you that, and he'd have to shoot you.
Yes.
Possibly.
May the 4th. What? Nothing going on in London that week, is there at all? Oh, the thing. Yes, the thing.
The thing?
The hat. The special hat thing.
There's a special hat thing?
Yeah. Is it? When is it? Saturday, Sunday? I don't know. Well, it all gets very crowded, and people wave lots of flags, and
I like hats.
the world's longest job interview finally comes to an end. Yes. No.
No.
Yes. It's
the
chicken.
Coronation Quiche thing.
Yeah.
That's the weekend
right.
after.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I don't follow that.
Finally, Westminster Abbey gets to do what it was built to do.
What was it built to do?
Crown kings.
Coronations.
Or queens.
All queens. All queens.
So it's a bit dusty.
Well, it's designed for many things. It's like designed to house their corpses as well. But they've
Really?
The thing is,
So suddenly it's got more interesting.
that's not very frequent, though, is it? It's
and it's not very. I don't know when
thankfully people don't die that regularly, or an individual doesn't die that regularly.
Well,
nor
I'm
do they get
trying to.
crowned.
I think we probably have to go back 2 centuries before we get to the. I don't know. And Vulcarius will tell us in the chat. He's well up on things like this. But Victoria's not buried there. I don't know if William IV was.
Where was
there are-
Victoria buried?
I thought was he buried at Osborne House? I can't remember. It was in my youth when she was buried. Because all the Windsors are out at Windsor. Anyway, how do we get onto that?
Makes sense. Do we have any space news?
Well, yes, there was a moon landing. It's more of a. It wasn't. Well, it did land technically.
Well, yes.
It was in one
Not
piece
successfully.
momentarily, I'm sure, before it became more pieces.
Did anyone die?
Probably somebody's pride and joy. Yes, the Japanese smashed a vehicle into the moon during the week. So that means only the Yanks, the Russians, and the Chinese have successfully landed on the moon so far.
So wait a minute, why were they sending
Controversial.
What was it?
Some quarters.
A probe or a shuttle? Or...
Well, it was a lander, but it was a private enterprise. No, I don't mean.
Was anyone on it?
No. It
Unmanned.
was actually pretty small. I think it was only like a third of a ton.
So why were they sending one to the moon?
Science, because it's
Yeah, but they've
there.
already been there. There's nothing there.
Well, there is. There's lots there.
Well, there's just rock.
What do you mean? There's nothing there. There's not a McDonald's there. Yeah,
Rock and
okay.
dust.
There aren't. There's no pampas grass. Yeah, okay. But stuff there. Lots of stuff there. I mean, it's 5,000 kilometres wide. It's enormous. There's loads of stuff there.
Yeah, but they know what's there.
Well, do we?
Well, yeah, we do. We've been there. We've done the tests. We did all the science.
Oh, so that's it. So
you've never done all. Oh, you've never done all the sites.
Just leave
And
it
we
now.
haven't found the clangers yet.
Nope.
That's
I think
true.
that's a different moon. That's much
Or the
smaller,
man.
isn't it?
We haven't found the man.
Oh, the cheese.
It's very dusty, apparently. Very dusty.
Yeah, I know. It's dusty in here as well. And my loft. Still choking on it.
Well, you shouldn't mess about with beach rust.
No, this was the loft.
Shouldn't go
think-
crawling around in the loft.
Well, I had to.
I think what was rather wonderful about this mission, though, was the little
Wonderful.
probe. Wonderful was the little probe that was made by Hasbro. Which I just think was awesome, and it's so
It was hilarious, wasn't it?
It was.
There's a publicity stunt if ever there was.
Did you?
Yeah.
It
Did you
is sounding more and more like they just sent a kid's radio controlled car up there and hope they could drive it around when it got there.
Did you see the little video of the thing trundling around in sort of fake moon sand?
But it was interesting. It had Did you see it had offset wheels, which is
Yes.
getting into the minutiae of the detail now. But it had an offset axle on the wheels, didn't it? And it was, I guess, to make it better able to grip onto the slippy moon dust. But yeah, it was fascinating.
Just for the sake of our listener, I'm just gonna drop a link into the. Oh yeah, we're all doing clangers, man, in the chat now. There's Troop Dragon. Yes, there's a little link there, and if you scroll down to the bottom of that link, there's a little film of this tiny, this mini moon robot. Trundling across, not the surface of the moon, obviously, otherwise you get the moon hoaxers all upset, but it's looks to me it just wants to dig a hole and hide.
It does look like a newborn crab emerging or something.
Yeah, it does. Or a newborn turtle trying to get to the
that's
sea
right.
before
That's it.
the seagulls or the tourists get it.
Well, the turtle made it to the water. If you know, you know. If you don't.
Well, speaking of digging holes in space news, what else has been digging a hole in space news this week?
I don't know. Are you going to tell us?
Well, it looks like I'm going to bloody have to, aren't I? It's, so, Elon's big BFG, the BFR.
Elon.
I'll tell you, if you want to dig a hole quickly, get yourself one of his rockets. Because that was a hell of a...
It might not be a very neat hole.
If you renamed it as a drill,
was it Monday? It seems such a long time ago. I've lost track of time. I think it was Monday. It kind of took off, and then so it was a partial success. You know, I'm sure they garnered bucket loads of data, but it dug a massive great hole in Texas, stripping concrete from its launch pad and hurling bits of earth and concrete and all kinds of stuff around the.
Well, it is just the thing I can't get over. It is insanely big. It's just massive. And you think of the forces involved. It's a wonder it got as far as it did.
Well, it's gravity, isn't it? That's the force involved.
Yeah, well, yeah. But it was incredible to watch.
I mean, gravity's not that strong. I mean, look, here I am picking up this wine glass, and there's a whole planet pulling on it, and I just can't resist me picking up this.
What does the X stand for in SpaceX?
Well,
it's take a stab.
It's better than Space J, isn't it? Or Space P.
Yeah. And I don't know the
Space.
answer. Is it exploration?
That would be an E, wouldn't it?
No,
Spacey.
Space W is difficult to say.
Is how you feel after doing a Hutton Orbital broadcast.
this is true, especially if Jim's involved.
Yes. So it kind of took off and sort of it didn't look too bad, and kind of we could actually see from the video footage, and they gave us a nice little graphic, which didn't always match which engines were working and which ones weren't, but pretty much most of the time. This thing had 33 of these Raptor engines. And interestingly enough, it runs on methane. So it's methane is the the main fuel with obviously a liquid oxygen oxidizer.
Well, that's obviously what went wrong.
Well, because it's fueled on cow farts.
The cows were moving around inside and unbalancing the rocket.
Moving around.
Yes.
Seems legit.
He could have... because Apollo, of course, was... first stage was kerosene and liquid oxygen. I'm just... don't know. My chemistry isn't up to it, so... Vulcarius will tell us later. I love setting him challenges. He always comes back on them.
Very good.
Green room weeks. No, he'd be bashing Wikipedia now. You just watch. And it went up, and they were supposed to separate into 2 stages, and it kind of did we had this last week, didn't it? You know, the big long balloon that you send up in the air at parties, and it doubles gauze all over everybody. It kind of did that around the skies over Texas, and then it didn't separate into 2 bits. It kind of, somebody pushed a button, or it thought it wasn't having a good day, so it kind of separated into a bazillion bits. And that was that. It was fun. I'm sure they learnt a lot. But interestingly, when we used to do this, I say we, me and the boys, used to do this 60 years ago, they didn't blow up. In the main. None of the Apollos blew up. Well, bits of one did, technically. But not on takeoff. Very reliable.
Antics.
We need to go back to the simple concept of point it at the moon and go very fast.
Well, you can't point it at the moon.
Well,
because you wouldn't get there.
Yes,
you ever shot a duck in flight?
Well, if you point it at the moon and you know it's going to take you exactly 1 rotation of the moon to get there.
Oh, you could do it then.
Yeah, that would be...
Yeah, well, life's never that simple, is it?
I've just revolutionised
If you look at the moon through a microscope, you can see it move across the sky. You constantly have to adjust the microscope in order to get a decent view.
We're getting technical now, aren't we?
You're already there.
Not a microscope, a telescope.
Are we talking about the same kind of moon here?
My bad.
You can look at my moon through a microscope.
Anyway, so it was quite a week for space news, which is just as well because there was no live stream. There's a marvelous app. I downloaded it the other day. Where is it? What's it called? This is for everybody. No, it's not ZapMap. Oh, I can't. Oh, here it is. It's very simple. Well, it's not working now. It's called Next Spaceflight.
Okay.
I can.
So all one word.
A guess as to what that does.
Exactly, it does what it says on the tin. So it's a marvelous Starship Super Heavy, April 20th. Oh, we've done that. What are we talking about? Oh, it's not connected to the internet, that's why. Oh, updating, spinning ring of death, come on. Internet in West Britain. Right, okay, so Viasat 3 and others are launching on a Falcon Heavy tomorrow. Oh, and an O3B Power 3 and 4 SpaceX flight from Florida going tomorrow as well. It's just so exciting.
Falcon Heavy.
Yes.
Yes.
That sounds like a ship that could genuinely be in Elite Dangerous.
Falcon Heavy, yes. So that's going from Kennedy Space Center tomorrow. And that's 12:29 a.m. That's GMT +1. And then going from, Cape Canaveral. 10:12 p.m. So they've got 2 going up in a day. Just... Anyway, I scroll through that at my leisure when I want to see what's coming up in the world of chucking things at space.
I'm just thinking about... So I'm sure there was a Falcon. I'm sure you're right. I'm sure there was a Falcon in Frontier Elite 2. I'm sure
I could have sworn there was as well.
I don't remember one. And it wouldn't... Just type in the name of that app.
You're doing the Googles.
Doing the Googles.
No, I'm just typing it into the chat so people just download the app, and it's hours of, seconds of fun.
So, what are the news do we
Moments
have?
of joy.
Moments of fun.
Brief moments.
There was
time.
indeed a Falcon in FE2.
Ah.
Yeah. What was you asked a question then, Amelia? I missed it. What was it?
What other news do we have?
I don't think.
Because we got like.
Oh, there's
DaveCon.
DaveCon news.
Yes.
There are 21 tickets left for DaveCon.
When last we checked.
Or
There might be
ECM,
less
as
now.
they've recently started calling it.
Isn't 21 tickets to go a song?
21.
Oh,
tickets to
DeadmeatGF,
go.
are you doing the extra special after thing at DaveCon?
I don't know. I've not been warned about it.
You're going to DaveCon, right?
Oh, yes. Yes, definitely.
Is this
So
a piss up in a car park?
Yeah.
Oh, there will be a car park bar. Yeah.
No, don't let me miss
I've
it
always
this
been told I'm
time.
not
No.
allowed
No.
to call it the piss up in the car park.
No, it's the car park bar.
So, who can tell us?
It's also classified, so don't tell anybody.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, it's 21 tickets left, and it's on the 19th of August.
And we
And
now
I'm
know that
winging this.
Monty's going to have to bring enough beer for the entire congregation in the car park.
He's got I think a tanker is arranged. And it's at the St. Anne's Manor in Wokingham. Did I get
It's
that
very
right?
nice looking.
Because I'm winging this.
That venue looks really pretty.
Oh,
So, yes, you
It
did.
is.
Sorry, I hadn't pushed my little button that lets me say things. Not the one on the microphone, the one on my head.
is that like Action? Remember Action Man? Was it? Do you ever think? He used to say 6 different things, didn't he? When you pushed a button, it was my thing is something else.
Oh,
You don't want to press his button. You really don't. No, the venue
I got as far as the moving eagle eyes, and anything after that, I was already too old.
Or was it $6 Million Man where you look through the back of his head and you got like a wide-angle lens?
Yes.
and rebuild him. The venue
pushed
is
the button on
very.
his back, and he lifted him.
Now, did he have painted on hair or did he have the realistic hair? I can't remember.
I don't know. I never took his trousers off.
Back in the days when Barbie and Action Man were your limit of your sex education.
Anyway, yes, the venue is very beautiful.
It is. It's very pretty.
It does look very nice.
It was my first ECM was the last time that it was held there, and it was very, very good. It was a lovely day. It was a fantastic atmosphere, and I would implore anybody listening who's on the fence about it. Honestly, it is just a wonderful social with like-minded people, beer, chilling out, relaxing, having fun. It is
And games.
It is fab. And games, yeah. But
Missed out the most important part there.
well, yeah, no, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. But that's what I mean. There's something for everyone. I mean, if you get me on a Super Nintendo, that's it. I'm Mario Kart for several hours, but it is so much fun. So yeah, if you're on the fence, it is. Yeah, it's one heck of a way to break your ECM cherry, I guess.
And I'm seeing that the Hutton Orbital Live is confirmed.
Oh, excellent. I mean, are we going to be doing it over the
Have to
telephone?
go up on stage.
Probably.
It says on the main stage, yes.
Oh, like we did in LaveCon.
Aye.
Yeah, but it's not like LaveCon. LaveCon's obviously more of a LaveCon's fab, but LaveCon's obviously more about the sort of it is a convention. There's the various rooms and the various sort of. This is at heart a social. This is what this is all about. It's just about
It was a bit like going on a business trip, wasn't it?
PWP.
Yes, it's PWP. It very much so, very much so. And I, for one, can't wait.
I can't wait either. It sounds really fun. It'd be my first ECM. Be my first DaveCon.
First and only DaveCon. It's everyone's first DaveCon.
So do we have a drum roll, please?
Testing him
Flossy.
now.
That's the one button I haven't got. If you talk about something else for just a moment, I'll see what I can do.
Well, we have to drum the... This week's mug winner is Noddy Clone.
Ta-da!
Are we sure?
November Oscar Delta India Echo Kilo Lima Oscar November Echo.
Are we sure?
Yeah, I'm sure those are very good phonetics.
We've opened the right brown envelope.
Yeah, we've got the right one. And other people who did miss last week will get another chance, I'm sure, as the time goes on.
Can't be difficult these days. Giving away so many mugs.
Now, we have a word of the week, but Mia's not here. So who's going to do the Scottish accent?
The word of the week.
I mean, do we have an actual Scottish person here? I mean, there must be one.
Yes, I'm Scottish. But
doesn't word have 3 R's and a U in it? Word.
This week's word of the week is akrasia.
Ooh.
Meaning,
could we have a meaning?
How do you spell that?
akrasia. The act of knowing you shouldn't be doing something but doing it anyway. Acting against good judgment.
Oh, and can you use it in a sentence, please?
Going into cubicle 3 with no hazmat suit was an act of akrasia, but there was no stopping Chix once he'd had his neutrino vindaloo. It went right through him.
Bubble.
I love the accent.
What's a neutering vindaloo?
That was a good joke when I wrote it.
Oh, that's a bad vindaloo if you get neutered as a result of it.
No, neutrino vindaloo. It went right through him. Do you get it? No. Brian Cox didn't very good when I told him.
Should we move swiftly on?
I think we should ask Flossy if she's going to do that accent while she does the CG news.
I don't think I could say that.
Okay, just hit the news then, Flossy.
Here we go.
Oh, I sit now.
It's Flossy. It's Flossy. It's Flossy. It's Flossy. And the community goes.
Dancing bananas. Hello, Flossy here with this week's CG News. Last week's CGs. The Fight for Glee's 44 Citizens Forum finished nearly halfway between tiers 3 and 4. Over 33 billion credits were earned. The Fight for Goloja Exchange finished past tier 3 with over 28 billion credits earned. And for the first time ever, I actually participated in this CG as there were ground combat zones in the system. I love ground combat as there's no flying involved, apart from the dropship, which of course somebody else flies. I started and played most of the week one of the nearest planet to the CG station, which I thought was medium, but later realised it was low. So for the last couple of nights, moved to high CZ at the ninth planet. I died a lot more, but better payments. Ended up in top 50% anyway. Oh, and promoted to soldier. There are no CGs this week, so that's it for this week's CG News.
Flossy told you what to do.
Thank you, Flossy. Up next, we have Beadle, Spoon and Wotherjude with the Galnet News.
Galnet News Update, 27th of April 3309. Remote-controlled probes have successfully penetrated to the heart of Maelstrom Tyrannus, but they've failed to return any data about what they encountered. Aegis's Professor Alba Tesreau explained that the probes were used to test the agency's prototype pulse neutralizers, which were developed with input from engineers Ishmael Palin and Ram Tar. The engineers' research into unclassified relics, which are created using Guardian technology at Thargoid surface sites, allowed them to enhance Elvira Martuk's shutdown field neutralizer to repulse the huge energy wave emitted by the maelstroms when an intruder gets close to the centre. Using the pulse neutralizers, the probes successfully passed through the energy field and are believed to have arrived at or very close to the core of the maelstrom before contact was abruptly lost. Tesro said that it was likely that only manned vessels will be able to negotiate the unknown threats that lie beyond the energy pulse. Admiral Aidan Tanner has already fitted the device to a full-size spacecraft, which has been tested in combat against Thargoids, but which has not yet been taken into a maelstrom. He described how the device is used in exactly the same way as a shutdown field neutralizer, but that its greater mass and power draw will probably mean that it's best suited for work carried out within the maelstrom. Aegis is working on a production schedule for the Thargoid Pulse Neutralizer, and hopes to have more details to share within the next few days. It's unclear whether there'll be a community initiative to set up production, and if so, whether those who take part will be granted early access to the technology. It's also unclear how the modules will be sold. If they're made available through tech brokers, for example, what materials may be needed. It's also unclear whether commanders will be expected to bring their own unclassified relics in order to buy the module. Aegis appears to be keen to make the module available as widely as possible, so it's likely that they'll keep the bar to entry into the Pulse Neutralizer Owners Club as low as they can manage. Emperor Arissa Livigny Duval has condemned the Imperial forces that attacked and destroyed a federal convoy taking supplies to the Thargoid front line near Maelstrom Lygong, and has demanded an immediate cessation of the war in Pitchich. The conflict in the federal system of Pitchich broke out following false claims that the assassination of a Cain Massey top executive was sponsored by the Empire. Thousands of lives on both sides have been lost, but it's the disruption to supplies for those fighting against the Thargoid invasion that seems to have most upset the Emperor. Those fighting for the Gliese 44 Citizens Forum attacked and destroyed a supply convoy, apparently mistaking it for a local resupply effort within Pitchich. She's commanded an immediate ceasefire, and President Hudson has responded in kind, instructing the Galuja Exchange to put down their weapons and to negotiate a peaceful resolution. The week-long skirmish has impacted on humanity's attempts to turn back the Thargoids, but now the Emperor and the President have intervened, we must hope that common sense and a sense of solidarity against a common enemy will prevail.
Oh, was that it? That was quick. Well, thank you, Commanders Beetlejuice and Wotherspoon. Now it's time to head over to the Hutton Helper results reported this week in the finest, the most mellifluous, nuanced, authentic, tartan-studded Scottish accent you've heard in a long time.
Welcome to the brand new, exciting and completely non-Scottish Hutton Helper results. The Hutton Helper results are sponsored by the Hutton Helper, the only third-party resource to come with a free Toyota Hilux, so you have something rugged for trips to the moon. This week we have the following events: the "I'll just go to Salome's Reach then" Cup, the "All of these words are yours, but not the moon" tournament, the "Apart from all of the evidence you can't prove you were there" Deja Vu Trophy, the "You can't go there, it's a clanger breeding ground" Charity Shield, the Full Moon Half Moon Total Eclipse Spectacular, and the Planet Express Moon Shuttle Award. So, get that eagle landed. The Hutton Helper results are: Kuro Patois 22 jumped 41,000 light years to come first in distance travelled. Its Strange sold 41,000 tonnes of cargo. See a theme starting here. Rincewind Cymru is top mission runner with 302 mission points. Alex Zuno handed in 444,444,444 credits worth of bounties. Dart Virtual handed in 665 million credits of combat bonds. Dart Virtual again also destroyed 562 Thargoids. Now you know where the combat bonds came from. Jack's Ringrider, or Ringbinder, I can't say that anyway, delivered 1,189 people to their various destinations. Decals for Gurapatwa 22, Jack's Ringbinder, Lilis Serenada for systems visited, Okayam for exploration data cashed in, and Tolien for ore mined. If you're one of those superb truckers, please email itookpart@huttonorbital.com and arrange to collect your Hutton decal kit, which this week consists of a Hutton flag, some moon dust, and a massively improbably conspiracy theory. There have been 4 Hutton runs in the last 7 days. They are the Burke twice, the fastest one being 1 hour 23 minutes and 30 seconds, Enzo Wingnut Picardo in 1 hour 24 minutes and 9 seconds, and Norbert Patenord in 1 hour 24 minutes and 40 seconds. There's a whole galaxy of stuff out there needing libitulating, desalinated, shugled, taken offline, exploded, launched, verified, motivated, evacuated, unfriended, ejected, manhandled or womanhandled, smeared, deflected, kept warm in the oven, emphasized, fertilized, snuffled, flipped, flopped, mistranslated to and from Spanish, chilled, mugged, ginned, wrapped up with a pretty bow, shipped, shot, rescued, have their immersion ruined, battered and deep fried, dead dropped, painted and rolled down a hill, destroyed, bought, sold, squeezed, inflated, put on a gammon stake, liquidated, evaporated, smelled, lit, discombobulated, recombobulated, headbutted, eviscerated, compressed, enveloped, strained, fermented, murderized with an S, interrobanged, upcycled, violently downcycled, disallowed, reallowed after consulting VAR, smelted, loved, adored, cherished and probinated. And you can earn yourself a very fetching Hutton decal for doing it. To get involved, you just have to go to hot.forthemug.com and download or sign up for the spectacular Hutton Helper, available in 3 acceptable formats. Let's face it, anything has to be better than missing the moon because you went in the daytime. Anyway, that's it for this week. Back to Studio 5.
Thank you, Lou. And now, before we go over to Aemelia for the Galnet Rares Digest, just a quick reminder that this week is Green Room Week. So if you want to take part in the Green Room, just go to the TeamSpeak server, ts.forthemug.com, and look for the Green Room in there. And we may see you later. But for now, it's Aemelia and the Galnet Rares Digest.
Good evening. This is Aemelia Hawke reporting for the Galnet Rares Digest. We try all the galaxy's rarest and most dangerous commodities, so you don't have to. Tonight, we're heading to new pastures. Across to 47 Ceti, specifically 47 Ceti B3. One of the 2 habitable worlds in the system, it's a traditional Earth-like, albeit terraformed. But in modern times, it is more than suitable for flora and fauna from old Earth. When terraformed, the planet was seeded abundantly and with genetically engineered life. Since that point, nature has taken its course, and the various animals and plants have evolved to suit their surroundings. Along with the usual smattering of herbivores, predators, insects, and aquatic life, the terraforming team introduced a familiar sight from the green fields of home: the humble rabbit. Knowing from Earth history what an invasive species rabbits are, the Seti rabbit was engineered in an attempt to keep the population low, with their fertility and selective reproduction changed to try and keep the numbers in check. Settler biologists McGregor and Harriet Potter, no relation to the infamous pirate, appear to have approached the gene splicing of the rabbit with more than a little guesswork, and very little in the way of proven science. In scenes reminiscent of the island of Dr. Moreau, they appear to have created a monster, then released it from behind the safety of some inch-thick glass and armed with heavy artillery. As nature does, and this is confirmed on the Don's experimental Jurassic World in his home system, it finds a way. Seti rabbits have an unusual population distribution. For every one male rabbit, there are 10 female rabbits. The males, the ones that are sold as rare goods on the galactic food market, are small, timid, and to be fair, absolutely adorable to look at. Their female counterparts are an entirely different affair. They've evolved as part of an Oricyclogus arms race, with the females of the species vying to be the one that gets to hop on the timid males and propagate the species. They're larger, more muscled, and the most violent rabbits you'll ever see, with nasty, big, pointy, sharp teeth. They roam fields in packs, hunting for unsuspecting carrot-munching males. The female of this species is more deadly than the male. They're omnivores, having developed a taste for meat, and are often to be found fighting vicious bouts with rivals for the attention of the bucks. They're also mildly venomous, an adaptation they've developed in response to the local natural predators, the killer Seti badger, related to honey badgers of Earth rather than their more docile English cousins, the saber-toothed mole, and the rabbit-eating supergiant fanged toad. Having fought, in many cases to the death, over the affections of the nearest male, the female rabbits stay close to their mate until such time as it dies of extreme exhaustion, or she tires of and, well, eats him. As such, finding a male Seti rabbit is extremely difficult, and not to mention dangerous, as the rabbit will as soon chew out your throat as she will run and hide like her earthly cousins. Needless to say, the female rabbits are unappetizing, tough, and borderline inedible. Their mates, however, are delicious, served roasted with nice red berry compote and some fresh garden vegetables. There's little that's tastier for a Sunday dinner. Oh, Seti rabbit stew. Oh, tender, flavorful, gamey, and a veritable, if rare, treat. I'm off to save a particularly fine specimen from sure death at the hands of some marauding does, though whether ending up in my pot is better than a few days of rampant rabbity fornication followed by being devoured by an angry-looking woman remains to be seen. I'm Aemelia Hawke. This is the Galnet Rares Digest, and they've spotted me in our guide, and he's advised me to run and find the nearest tree. Tune in next week for more. If I survive, that is. You don't often get the chance to say rampant rabbity fornication in a sentence.
I do.
Well, maybe not where you come from. See? Dog, man's best friend. Rabbit, girl's best friend.
What made you think that?
He's been shopping again.
So, Green Room Week.
There's Colin Allcars nodded off?
No, I'm here. Shall I? We've got 2 commanders in our green room this week. We have got Commander Volcarius and Commander Little Grey.
Should we just pull them down into the on-air room?
Shall we just pull them down? I beg your pardon.
Yes, just pull them down.
Pulling down now. Here they are.
Hello.
Here they are. Little Grey needs to unmute themselves at some point.
Are you there, Volcarius?
I am present.
He hasn't done the thing yet.
Oh, he's got to do the thing. The
he's
extra
about
magic
to do the
special
thing.
thing.
Well, I haven't done the thing for several weeks. It's been
4 weeks. 4 weeks to be precise, because it's the last green room.
But the
I can't believe Volcarius has been out-pedanted.
do you really need a automated system for 2 people?
Well, I mean, if we can
you
automate
designed
a system,
and built it.
you know, any system that's automated is a bonus.
Oh, I don't know.
Let me type in your names then.
Is that? Have you ever tried to contact your internet service provider? Yes.
Yeah, it's very much
Although,
automated system.
I must admit, hats off to the guy who came from BT OpenReach this week. He arrived the next day, and he must have spent 4 hours. I got a new brick on the pole down the lane. I got a new cable all the way to the house, but that wasn't the problem. Then he spent an hour in my loft lifting up insulation looking for a phantom mastered box that I didn't know he had. And then he rerouted all the phones in the house through this thing, and he was there all day. Well, 4 hours. And now, and at the end of it, I'll get 20 extra megabyte download. He was just a hero.
Bless.
It was marvellous.
So the key to getting faster downloads is let a gentleman lift up your insulation and find your box.
Yes. It's pretty old and dusty up there. You've got to sort of crawl through spaces and things. It's like a proper massive timber, roof space, without putting you for ceiling, obviously. And there's a big lad as well.
So, Chix, you're up first.
Right.
Am I?
Yeah, we have it.
Little Grey.
Oh, we got a list. Look at that, Little Grey. Little Grey. Are you there, Little Grey? Tap once for yes. Tap twice for beep. There you go. You're there.
Oh, mic's off.
There you go. You get the hang of it soon.
Mic's off, mic's back.
So, Little Grey, what have you been up to recently? Clicking. This is going to be a tough one. Well, I'll tell you what. Shall we jump one? Aemelia, you go to Volcarius.
Okay.
We'll let Little Grey have a little time to sort out audio issues, and then we'll come back.
Volcarius, how the devil are you, sir?
While I brew up. Oh, he's gone.
I'd say a bit quanked, but I think otherwise quite fine. By the way, Chix, a bit quanked.
Could we have a meaning, please?
Is that next week's word?
Exhausted from work.
Can you use it in a sentence?
I think it's a cross between knackered and...
I just did. I said I was a bit quanked, but otherwise quite fine. I was about to say that guy Chix Smith he sounds like quite the prickmadainty.
Well, I just squashed milk over the side. I missed the cup.
I'm not sure what's occurring in the background.
I'm brewing up.
I suspect there was spillage.
There was spillage.
Has floor mopping guy around?
No, it's on the worktop. It's fine.
Is worktop mopping guy around?
Yes. I don't want his filthy mop up there. Right, I'll be back in a minute after I've delivered this.
Yeah, let's let Chix fruits around.
I love that word. So, have you been up to anything interesting?
Well, see, I thought last month was one of the more crazy, but this one has definitely topped it. So I put my Author's cutter back on the shelf, and following a bout of Acracia, I built my research samples cutter for joining in with that. And now the Thargoid war makes even less sense than previously imagined. So I came to Elite for the space combat, and now I'm trying to calculate estimates for how many chunks of Cyclops need to be delivered to a megaship. Like, we've made this exponential curve for it, which at least isn't complete fabulosity, but I think it's only a verisimilitude at the moment, because it still gives minor errors we can't explain.
Have you got
but in any case, say again?
I was going to say, have you got a final number yet?
Well, it depends on the distance from the maelstrom. It looked like it was depending on the distance from the Sol as well, but that turned out to be noise we couldn't explain. I don't know whether, like, how many scouts we kill on the way. This is just casually shooting them when they go in front of the cutter, but I don't know that it's causing like 10 to 15% though. So I don't think that explains it. As I said, I thought the distance from Sol looked like it was explaining it, but then we had one that was closer to Sol that took more samples, so that was a counterexample.
I love how you're using all the words, by the way.
All the words? Well, I mean,
most of the words.
They're English words, Aemelia.
That's true, but I mean, you're inspired to use them because we list them on the show. You still haven't used Womblecrump yet.
So I said to the apology officer that I don't really have an application for saying Wamblecropped, which was countered immediately by the fact that the apology officer says it 4 times a week. I was thinking, well, is the Scottish diet that bad?
Yes.
You would know, yeah. Yeah, just
everything is deep fried.
Yeah.
It's kind of our specialty.
And in any case, with just one wing operating around Maelstrom Haddad, what we found, we found several things. The main one is that we can clear out more Thargoid-controlled systems ourselves than the number of new attacks it starts.
Oh wow!
So just this last week we cleared out 8 systems, and on the week before that we cleared 7, one of which was actually populated. That was Ukate. But each Maelstrom only attacks 5 a week, so that means we're actually keeping Haddad effectively Thargoid negative.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, the other interesting thing we found. By the way, for this, Imperial Navy Intervention and Rescue would like to thank. It was Ian Doncaster on the forum. Basically, those guys on the Frontier forum, they've reverse engineered the Thargoid alerts to the point of being able to predict where the next attacks will be.
Wow.
So for an attack to occur, though, there has to be an attacker, and we found that if we know the Thargoid-controlled systems this week, which they're going to try to use next week, we can actually target those ones and stop specific attacks from occurring.
That is so cool.
So if you remember last month when I said we had to defend A-Hole again, well, now we've shut down its attackers. So it looks like as long as we can keep Haddad losing more systems than it gains, I think that should keep our A-Hole totally safe for anyone who wants to use it.
And keep our A-Hole clear. Keep it nice and clean.
Yeah, they still attack 5 systems either way. We are just moving the attack, but it forces them away from the populated areas and makes them attack. Well, even the best part is it makes them attack in the wrong direction. They literally attack away from us. So at that point, it should only get progressively easier, just by that delta on the systems, taking more than they do.
That is so cool.
So yeah, that's what I've been doing. That's what given some of the upcoming attacks, it looks like we're going to try, I think, and just select Titanope samples from Futlandira. Although it's a little bit close to the Maelstrom, if we can, that's a populated system. So if we can take that one, that will, not only will it be one system for us, that should also stop another populated attack as well.
Wow. So you've been hard at work, really.
I didn't imagine. I'd never imagined we'd be like in a circle with regeneration beams in Imperial cutters, usually above a planet. But we've been doing it in open space as well. So the point of going over a planet is that you don't get any swarms. But in open space, we do the same thing. But if the target of the Thargoid leaves and rejoins, it restarts, and that includes the swarm timer. So we've been the system we took on Wednesday. That was completely open space.
Wow. Nice.
Yeah, that's about it. That's all I've been doing. That's what I'm going to continue to do. So I'll say thank you all for the show. Hail the Empress, and for the mug.
For the mug.
Mug.
So, Little Grey, have you managed to sort out your audio issue?
I have.
That's marvellous.
Basically, don't have any idea how TeamSpeak works.
So let me guess, you switched it off and you switched it back on, didn't you?
Maybe.
Anyway, we hear you perfectly.
I was going to say it works now, so
it does.
Fine, surely. Who knows?
See,
might actually be a bit louder than last time we did this, where
you're an IT professional now.
I cut out every other word last time, didn't I?
Yes.
I'm very excited about. And it would just but no, this week I've been organising things for ECM.
Dave gone.
Yes.
Dave gone.
So I have been organising sound desks and acquiring thereof. We've had a few volunteers to bring some other bits of kit, which is going to be, rather than nice to have, it's actually going to be pretty essential. So I need to get back in touch with them. Alongside, in long, arduous meetings, I've been using the time to create a little circuit board that isn't going to be that little and have lots of buttons on it that you can go pew pew in spaceships with.
Oh,
so
don't tell Colin all cars. He likes pushing buttons.
I like buttons.
32
Cadbury's chocolate
shiny
buttons.
Me too.
I like them. I like buttons.
Right ones.
So what's the purpose of this? Is this just for people to amplify themselves at DaveCon?
So for the sound desk, yes, that is for making people louder. Not that Cecil is going to need it.
I'm going to say some people don't need that facility.
Lord Shouty, for one.
Clues in the name.
Quite. But no, the circuit board is something that I've been meaning to do for a long time, and ECM is the incentive to do it. So I have a deadline to create it by, so I actually will go out and do it.
I love deadlines. I love the whooshing noise they make as they go by.
No, that's overhead power lines. You've been doing it wrong. They generally lightly crackle, but on a Sol-based instance, I'm going to post something in our Discord screenshots, even, of the fantastic creations that I've got to play with today. So I'll post those there, and you can collar me about it another time, probably, because otherwise I'll be waiting forever while I try and find the right files, because my computer is a mess. Oh, and I had a GPU upgrade since last time we were here.
Oh, what have you stuffed in?
Well, I've gone from a 780 Ti, which was...
What was that, like a Nokia 6110?
I mean, basically, and since have gone up to a 2080 Ti, and it's like...
Wow. In the same motherboard?
Well, no, it's a graphics card rather than...
No, I know, but in the same machine?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's quite a leap.
Well, yes. I didn't need a graphics card at that point, and then Odyssey upgraded, and then I really did need a graphics card upgrade. So, bit the bullet and decided to go for that. So, and the irony is, I've not actually flown a spaceship since.
So you don't actually know what sort of frame rate or what it looks like? Or
Currently, no. All I can tell you is the...
So you don't actually know if it works?
It works. The loading screen looks very pretty.
That's marvellous, isn't it? See, the true test is when you get into a ground combat zone and there's lots of fire and people are throwing grenades and there's...
I had been hoping to go into a Thargoid attacked base or something and do the passenger runs, which is my go-to service for the Hackswing teams, but I just haven't got to it yet with family life and all that sort of thing. But I'm going to call it at that and say for the mug.
For the mug.
Pass on to the next victim, person waiting.
Whoever that might be.
That is me to see what Deadmeat's been doing this week.
We do have someone else. We have a...
We do, yes, I dragged him down. So,
yeah, you chat to Jackman, Flossy.
Okay. Jackman, how have you been doing?
I'm okay, Flossy. How are you?
I'm okay, thank you. Been doing anything special this week? Almost.
No. Well, I'm off this month from work. I'm just getting over a slight illness, shall we say.
Alright.
Yeah, I don't want to go into too much detail, but I'm okay. Been playing a bit of Elite with the guys, and that's really it. I just popped in, in chat and see how you lot are doing, and
Nice to see you, David.
Nice to see you, yes.
I will be at ECM this year.
You will?
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. I look forward to seeing you there.
Brilliant.
Okay.
All right, full of mug.
Okay then, thank you for the mug. Oh, no, I don't know who it is.
Why didn't you just move straight on to say hello to Dead Meat?
Vocarious has just put a new post.
Oh, that's
he's
efficiency.
done a special doodad.
That is efficiency. So,
very efficient.
Chix to Dead Meat.
So I get Dead Meat.
Good day.
Good day. Well, I've got the way it is on my screen. I get Chix to Aemelia, and I'm thinking, no, that isn't right. Something else. Oh shit, it's Chix Dead Meat. Oh, okay. Yeah. So, Dead Meat. It'd be great in the edit, don't worry. So, Dead Meat, how are you? How's your month been?
It's been spiffing. Yes, no, Dead Meat's not been in game that much, but the alter ego Loose Knockers has. And like Flossy, went across to the CG and did some ground combat, and I managed to get in the top 10. So I was very chuffed with that.
There was an ulterior motive for that. I'm trying to remember what it was. Oh yes. Except there isn't a live stream.
This is the problem. Is that occasionally they read out the top 10 on the live streams, and
you wanted them to.
Well, yes, because Arf collared me at LaveCon and mentioned that the DeadmeatGF was disturbing as a commander name.
Yeah, I remember that.
And I said I was hoping to get him to be forced to read out Loose Knockers. Yes, there's a better commander that comes after that. So, but I'll save that.
So you went to all that effort to.
Well, I got 600 million credits.
Oh, that's.
No.
with the reward, and the reward for getting 600 million credits in combat bonds was 18 million. So yes, it's not particularly good, but yes, it wasn't about the reward. It was hoping that it might force Arf to read out a ridiculous name. So yes, but that yes, and then in real life I've been. I haven't been gardening. I've been paying people to garden. So that's
what?
I mean, what?
You've been gardening?
I hate gardening with a passion.
So do I.
So when I moved into this house, I replaced the garden with stone.
So you bought a house with a garden?
Yes. I bought a house that happened to have a garden and I got rid of it because, why wouldn't you? But now, having inherited the dog, I have now replaced the stone with grass.
Hello. Hello.
Overlight's back.
Hello.
So you've replaced it with stone, and how are they growing?
They've mutated into grass. It's absolutely fantastic. So now my dog has a large bed in the back garden, and I can just throw him out there in the sun. Although not today, because 10 minutes after they finished it, it started to rain, which is brilliant because I don't have to water it then.
I'm now confused.
I should leave it there then. For the mug. Stay confused.
For the mug.
Well, I'm having all sorts of strange problems at this end. I don't know what's going wrong, quite frankly. But
well, I think Timmy's fallen down the well.
You sounded very echoey.
What was that, lassie? Timmy's fallen down the well again.
Hang on, let me press a button. Oh, there we go. That should fix it.
Oh, was that the winch button?
I sounded like Holly. It was brilliant.
I sound like Holly.
He's dead, Dave. Everybody's dead, Dave.
Everybody's dead, Dave.
Oh, I'm so looking forward to meeting.
Speaking of which, isn't he going to be at ECM? Dave
Yes.
Dave's dead. Everybody is.
Are you trying to tell me everybody's dead?
Everybody's dead. Right. Anyway.
Whose turn is it?
Overlight.
Overlight to me. Sounds like you got a sore throat now.
Somebody's pulled out too many of Hal's circuit
What's that
boards.
smell?
Anyway, in case you want to know, as DeadmeatGF says, I've been doing the combat CGs this week. Because there was ground combat, and I like ground combat. I don't like flying, but I like doing it on the ground. So I went and did that, and I ended up in top 50% and promoted to a soldier.
Yay!
Outstanding.
I think you've surprised us all from the ardent pacifist that you were.
No, not really. I don't have guns on my ships, mainly because I can't shoot and fly at the same time. That has been true since my very first game of Air Warrior, where I had to fly World War II aircraft and fire guns. I could never do that. I always ended up spinning into the ground. Which is why I only ever flew bombers or drove ground vehicles. And the same applied in Aces High. And the only game in the past that I didn't have to fly in, but did a lot of ground combat, was in World War II Online. So I used to enjoy that as well.
So you have got previous?
I have got previous, yes. I've never been able to fly at the same time. I just can't do it.
Well, that's strange, because some would argue that playing a first-person shooter is more disorientating. At least with a ship, you are, you generally know which way you're going to be pointing.
Three-dimensional.
Okay.
I don't think it's about the kind of spatial stuff. I think it's just that in a ship or a plane, you're kind of distanced from who you're fighting. And when it's on foot, it's just pure bloodlust.
Oh, right, yeah.
Like Flossy to me.
She can only commit the act of murder if she can see the whites of their eyes and smell their fear.
It. Yeah.
Well, that makes sense. That makes sense. Well, you're doing us all proud, getting in the top 50% of the CG.
I surprised myself with that.
It's not really real unless you can smell his final breath, is it?
Exactly.
Well, there was a few of mine last night that were right in front of me. Oh, I thought it's either him or me.
She likes to watch the light go out in their eyes.
Yeah, great fun.
And you are coming to ECM, aren't you?
I am, yes, yeah.
Yes, you did mention you were.
Very much looking forward to it.
Yes, and is there going to be some card games?
I hope so. I hope I can play Cards Against Humanity again.
Yes, that's always a treat. It's worth going for, if nothing else, is the filth that is Card Against Humanity. Very good. And apart from the on-ground combat and getting in the top CG, have you had time for anything else this week?
I've done a bit of Warcraft, but not as much as I usually do. No, just generally doing nothing and enjoying my retirement.
Oh, I'm so jealous.
Isn't there an update next week, Flossy, for Warcraft?
Yes, I believe there is one coming.
Cross-faction guilds.
Aye, yeah. I can't quite imagine how that's going to work, but yeah. So
I think it's incredible it's still going.
Yeah.
You know, Sandrine and I met in World of Warcraft.
Did you? Really?
Yeah, 15 years ago.
Wow. Yeah.
And we still play it today.
I went in with another friend I used to have in Second Life, but well, he disappeared on me. And
these strange virtual lives we lead.
Yeah.
Well, any other updates this week, Flossy?
Updates. I was thinking that next week was the update 15 for Elite, but it's not. It's the week after.
Oh yes.
And I posted in the forums, update 15 is next week. Someone said, looks at calendar, checks the date. Oops, I meant the week after. But that's one of the perils, you know, being retired, and you don't you lose track of the days and the weeks and the years.
Sounds awful.
It's terrible.
Well, Flossy, it's been lovely talking to you.
Thank you. Lovely to talk to you too. So, for the mug.
For the mug.
Chix, it's me to talk to you. How are you doing, my mustachioed friend?
Very good. Sorry, hang on. I'm just landed at Schmid Industrial Base.
Schmid.
I'm in the schmiddle of things here.
They get worse.
They do get worse, but they're so good at the same time. So, while you're in the schmid of things,
it's done.
Care to elaborate? Oh, it's done, is it?
Ooh, look at those geezers. There's 3 of them erupting at once. Very nice. Anyway, go on. What do you want to know?
I want to know everything.
Why do I want this job? Yeah. Well, the money, really.
What money?
Yeah. No, I mean...
So what have you been up to?
Well, I'm still in West Britain.
West Britain. What fantastic adventures have you had in West Britain?
Well, I've been to the beach.
The Welsh...
Not today, though. It's been pissing it down today.
Yeah, but I mean, the Welsh beaches are really, really nice, even when it's pissing it down.
Well, yeah, I'm sure the beach is. I'll never know when it's raining. Anyway, yeah, it rained today. I've been tinkering with various things. I was putting a fan in the bathroom today up into the loft.
Oh.
No more farts. Well, no extended fart smells anyway. What else have I been doing? Oh, yes.
Didn't you say something about attic dust or something?
Yeah, I went up there today. I've been up there for years since they insulated it. I sort of breathed in and went, ugh, and I've been coughing ever since.
It's not asbestos lined, is it?
No. It's I put the insulation in there a few years ago. No, not asbestos. No, I work on a ship that's riddled with that. What else have I been doing? I've been making stuff.
Making stuff? What kind of stuff?
Well, I built a staircase in the back garden, and I was never happy with the sort of timber cleats that it's.
Why do you need a staircase in your back garden?
Because the back garden's higher than the roof of the house. So I built a staircase in the corner of the garden to get up there, and it's the first version's probably getting over 10 years old now, and some of the timber's rotten, so I'm slowly replacing it with steel angles here and there, which
Fancy.
I acquired. I found, so during the war, training for D-Day, the Belgians were here, and they used the beach for D-Day simulated landings, and they built a lot of beach defences and stuff on the beach, and I found a piece of angle from this yesterday that had sort of 2-inch thick rust on it. So I knocked all the rust off. I took it back to the house and I chopped it up, and it's absolutely perfect. When you get through all the crap, it's still perfect iron inside.
Cool.
So I made some cleats out of that. Been fixing bits on my car.
So you've been a busy bee.
Oh yeah, non-stop. So I've been generally covered in shit and oil, and been out for a couple of drives in the countryside, painting stuff, all kinds of stuff.
Nice.
Bit gardening. I like gardening.
Now see, I started gardening. Well, not gardening. I'm growing tomatoes and strawberries. So I mean, it's not really gardening; it's food.
Oh, tomatoes and strawberries is technically gardening. You're a farmer if you got 2 crops.
Farmer. Roar.
Try chilies. Do you like chilies?
Yes, I love chilies.
Chilies
I'm a big chili fan.
Easiest thing in the world to grow.
Well, yeah, I've never done it before, so I'm trying it out.
Just seed in the pot. This next time you cook with chilies, take some of the seeds out, plant them up the pot. But you really want to do it in sort of February.
Yeah, we started. We started last month, and they're growing nicely. I just want food.
If you've got a sunny windowsill, chilies will just grow like crazy.
I'll need to try them next year.
I grow tomatoes out the back in London, just in bags. Like, imagine a sort of cloth bucket.
So they're quite prolific then?
Oh, God, yeah. Yeah, I made 24 jars of chutney last year.
Nice.
So that lasts more than a year. Yeah, chilies, basil and parsley, sage, thyme, rosemary bushes,
all the herbs.
Yeah, all the stuff that you go, I'm cooking this. I'm going to nip out and grab some of that.
See, that's what we wanted to start doing.
It's easy. You just have to be organised. That's all, because obviously it takes ages to grow.
Yeah,
and you need to sort of do it because you'll get through 2 batches. You can eat old basil, but the new stuff is I think it's just got more flavour.
You mean fresh?
Yeah,
like straight off the bush.
Because basil will grow for months, and in fact, it'll even come back the following year. But it doesn't have that sort of young, fresh sort of, that really pungent flavour. Anyway,
so you have to eat it in the first year. You don't.
No. Even when it first sprouts, before it starts going woody, because it will grow from the wood, and I just think it has less flavour once it's got to that stage. So I tend to grow 2 batches through the year.
So you've always got a fresh batch.
Yeah, and then you just let it go to seed, and then collect the seed and plant it next time.
I'm still learning all this.
Yeah, I mean it's easy enough. I mean, basically, put seed in ground, add light and water, and it'll do what it does.
Well, we decided on tomatoes first because, as you know,
tomatoes are good. They're easy.
Well, they're like gold over here at the moment.
Are they?
In the UK. Have you not seen all the posts?
Not really, but you can't get tomatoes.
No. Supermarkets are devoid of a lot of fruit and veg.
It's nice in the summer. You just nip out before lunch and just cut 2. When you slice them up, they've still got a little bit of a pulse.
Mm-hmm.
And then, nothing like a tomato straight off the bush.
I'm going to have to try that.
I can vouch. My wife has started growing in the last couple of years. We have these raised beds. Beans and tomatoes and things like that are fantastic, and strawberries straight out and into your mouth.
Straight off they sometimes don't even make the kitchen.
Yeah. See, the thing is, it's a very trendy thing to do nowadays, grow your own food.
Oh, God, I'm going to have to stop then.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to be on any trend.
I was going to say, if I'm wearing, I'm a barometer for fashion. If I'm wearing it, it's definitely out.
There are things that are not quite so desirable, though. Certain things, such as we have plums and we did cauliflower last year, and then you end up with as much protein as you do vegetable, shall we?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, your slithery friends. We've got slow worms here, so the slow worms devour a lot of the slimy stuff.
Slugs and snails and.
But yeah, I know what you mean. I planted a lot of garlic one year, thinking, they won't go for that. Ate a lot, all gone. Bastards.
We surrounded ours by copper mesh, and that stopped a lot of stuff. So
it does, yeah. I mean, you put down pellets, mesh, salt.
I've been told eggshells is a way to go as well.
You know, the best thing is just go out there with a torch for every night for a while, and then just stab the bastards with a steak knife. So you've got like a big slug kebab. And then flick it into next door's garden. The next door's garden's easier because it's all wooded and nobody ever goes there. So I just flick it over the fence, and there's all these impaled. I was going to say mollusks. They're not mollusks, are they? Arthropods or whatever. Yeah.
Is this about pest control or just pissing your neighbours off?
Or just being able to stab things legally?
I think I pissed him off when we bought his house. Anyway, go on, just do a bit of manual pest control, because all that other stuff they get round.
Well, at the moment we're growing stuff indoors, so we don't have that problem yet.
Yeah, I mean, you put tomatoes out as soon as summer starts. Or did we miss it? Was that Wednesday?
We were told May.
Yeah, it's really when there's no risk of frost, which of course depends largely. Do you live in a city? How far north are you? Or how exposed are you? But you'll know.
Yeah, but we had frost on Tuesday, so
yeah, exactly. Yeah. I put my fig tree out. Green room's turned into, I suppose it's green, isn't it? But it's turned into gardener's fucking question time, hasn't it?
Who needs Radio 4?
Which one's Alan Titchmarsh?
The loose knockers.
No, that was ground force. That was something else.
Oh, yes, the Dimmocks.
How are your Dimmocks, love?
Yeah, I put my fig tree out a few weeks ago and thinking, there'll be no frost. And of course, I'm down here and there's frost in London. Shit. Should be all right. Figs are quite hardy. Hardier than you think.
So, anything else you'd like to share with us?
I think I've shared but more than enough. For the mug.
For the mug.
For the mug.
Now it's dead meat on Overlight.
Yes. Colin Alcott, Commander Overlight.
Hello.
Good day, sir.
Hello.
What have you been up to?
Oh, I don't know. Enjoying my not retirement. Busy, working. Just yes, you can chuckle.
You say busy working, but I see that little pop up in the corner of my screen saying Commander Overlight is playing.
I confess, it's been a Terraria week. I don't know why.
It's been a Terraria week.
It's been a Terraria week. It's yeah.
My computer keeps telling me. So Overlight playing Terraria again.
I know. It's one of those weird little addictions, though, isn't it? Sometimes you get into something. I never really got into it before, and then you start to get on this addictive development tree, and basically what we're trying to do is get stronger armor to fight stronger bosses, to get stronger rewards, to get stronger armor and weapons, to fight stronger bosses, to get stronger rewards, to get stronger armor and weapons, to fight stronger bosses, to get stronger rewards, to get stronger armor and weapons, to fight stronger bosses, and so the cycle continues. And that's basically Terraria, but it is quite a bit of fun. It's
a fun little game. I have got it. I haven't played it for ages, and it's like that pop up makes me think, should I have another go?
We could play multiplayer.
We could.
I was going to say, yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to lock on my chest though. You know, you can never be too careful when Deadmeat's around.
You can't trust the snoggers with the chest.
Absolutely not. But I got my ECM ticket, so that's sorted.
Excellent.
I'm bunking with my my old mate Commander El Masri, so that'll be good. And
have we tapped him up for an ECM beer yet?
No. For those who don't know, Commander El Masri is obviously the brewmeister extraordinaire. I don't know if he's got anything planned. I hope so, because after last year's Pineapple Spectacular,
that was amazing.
That was amazing.
As always, it started as a joke. Could you make a pineapple beer?
Yes, for our pizza chef who
Something
believes.
else I missed.
Well,
again, that was car park bar.
That was car park bar.
Yeah, nobody told me about the car park bar.
Well, that was for Mr. Riverboat, because of course Mr. Riverboat, as a manager of a Pizza Express, who are very traditional and don't put pineapple on pizza, we have to find every excuse to throw pineapple at him.
Indeed.
So Deadmeat came up with the idea of a pineapple-based beverage, and El Masri delivered in quite spectacular, and I have to say, delicious fashion.
It was surprising. I wasn't expecting it to even taste nice. It was more just the gag, and then when he brought it, it was like, this is great.
It was very, very good.
Just on an aside, Brewdog make a pineapple cider, which they're sold out of. So
Things
obviously
I
quite nice.
Did not know that I now need to try.
Indeed, yes.
It was delicious. It shouldn't have been, and it didn't taste like an alcohol pop either. It was just like a really nice. I can't remember what type. He's very specific about his different.
Yeah, I won't risk it, but yeah, it was. You could taste the pineapple, but it wasn't. The pineapple didn't overpower the drink. Yes. It was a nice drink as well.
It didn't taste like alcoholic pineapple juice. Let's put it like that. So yes, definitely worth a try. It was definitely the right amount of hint of pineapple.
Yes.
Sounds nice.
Yeah, but I'm really looking forward to it. As I said earlier, that's my first ECM was at that venue, and it was so good. And yeah, it was. I'm just really, really excited about it. And looking forward to seeing everybody again, and that is very exciting. And apart from that, I have got a work trip planned coming up soon. So I've been sort of getting ready for that. Going to be away for a few days. I bought a new account. I bought another commander in the sale the other day. I'm going to do what you've done. I'm going to play exclusively on foot.
That is so fun.
Yeah, I think there's something to be. That's proper role play, isn't it? That's proper visceral RPG on the ground. So
there's just one tip that I found. If you use the sort of there's a function on the menu now, the rescue to a safe location.
Mm-hmm.
That will always put you back in a ship.
Oh, okay.
So what I found was I'm pretty sure I managed to sell my ship as an on-foot commander. But if you rescue yourself, the ship it puts you in, you then can't sell.
Oh, okay.
So I do own a ship. I just don't use it. But,
right. You just can't. No one wants to buy it.
Yeah, avoid using that rescue option unless you're absolutely stuck.
Got it. No,
but yeah, I saved the game. I was called away, so I turned the game off while I was in a taxi, and then I'm in Odyssey, and it says, "Please use a version that will allow you to be on foot."
Oh.
So I am using the version that allows me to be on foot, but yes, the only way out was the rescue. So yes, that caught me out. But yes, it's so relaxing. Just doing everything in taxis.
Yeah. Yes. Get flown all over the place. Elite is a great game where you can do other things while playing. That's one of the things I rather love about it. But no, apart from that, just usual busy. Not enough time, but nice to be back on the buttons. Virtually seamless, almost. But yeah, all good fun and lovely to be back in conversation with you all. So I shall just say for the mug.
And I should just say to anyone listening to the recording, this is how it went.
And Aemelia.
Hi, Flossy.
Hi, how have you been doing?
Well, wow. It's been a roller coaster of a few weeks. I've been trying to set up streaming, stuff like that. So I've got myself a Stream Deck, 32-button Stream Deck. I've got myself a new mic, which is one of those ones on an arm that's got a pop screen or whatever they call them. I've been checking out OBS. I managed to take a trip down to my mother's place and pick up my solid pine desk, which it got given to me when I was 10 years old.
Oh, nice.
So I brought that back home, and over the next week or two, I'm going to be setting up a place to stream, which is going to be fun.
Oh, well, good luck with that.
I'm going to need it. But yeah, I mean, busy. Not really had much chance to game. I've been gutting out the house of 15 years of hoarding stuff. So
something I should be doing, but I never quite get around to it.
So my time has been spent mostly doing that, in between small bouts of playing World of Warcraft, obviously.
I have seen you on there a few times, yes.
Yeah. I'm kind of excited about this coming update with the cross-faction guilds and stuff, because it means I'll be able to put all my characters in one place.
What do they do about language, though? Because we speak different languages, don't we?
Well, I think it's going to be like, you know how you can group with Alliance? Sorry, I'm Horde, so...
Yeah.
So... I'm
a bit of both.
So, sometimes you end up grouping with an alliance for some dungeon or something where, if you know them, they're your friend and they're on the alliance character, and you group up with them, you can still do stuff together. But the party chat is just standard. It's not in the language. It doesn't have the language barrier.
Right.
So I think it's going to be the same in guild chat, but if you meet up in the actual world, you'll end up having the language barrier, unless you get that potion that you can get from Dalaran, which allows you to comprehend.
That one.
Oh, right. Okay, so there's a potion in Dalaran. I think it's Northrend Dalaran, old Dalaran.
Yeah, all the original.
Yeah.
Almost, apart from the one before.
And you get it from that little trinket shop, the one that sells all the stuff for a mage, like new hex formation, not hex, polymorph variants and stuff like that.
Yeah. So you used to do the things for the teleports before they stopped using them. Yeah, I know what you mean.
That shop, they sell potions and it allows you an hour of being able to understand the opposite faction. It's very, very utilized on an RP server. I'm on an RP server, so everyone uses it a lot.
Really?
But yeah, anyway, I'll be getting back into Elite Dangerous and hopefully streaming some of that, which would be fun. And maybe get some truckers to play a pen and paper RPG and streaming that if they're up for it. That might be fun.
I mean,
no, not me.
What dead meat?
Yeah, RPG, shout me up.
You up for a game of Traveller?
Yeah, always.
Nice.
I'll drop bombs on my teammates.
Like you did before. We never did get back to that game.
Just for the listener, it was only an EMP. I wasn't killing my teammates. I just kind of
but your
destroyed
teammates
all the augmentations.
Cybernetic augmentations. Your team were cram-packed full of cybernetics, and you detonated an EMP grenade. What did you think was going to happen?
Well, if the guy who we thought was a traitor was a traitor, that would have killed him, but he wasn't, so he didn't.
Right.
So, yeah.
Calculated risk. It was a calculated risk.
Calculated risk. So, yeah, maybe revisiting, RPGs, not just Traveller, though. Gonna be doing others as well, like classic D&D.
Paranoia.
Well, actually, I've got all the Paranoia books, so I could do some Paranoia.
Yeah.
Well, which Paranoia, though? The old Paranoia or the new Paranoia?
Well, I've played the old ones, but I'm happy to do the new one.
Well, the new one is less cards, so it's actually easier to do on a stream.
Yeah, that works.
Right.
It was him, computer. It was him. I heard him. He said that. Yeah.
You didn't call it friend computer. It's friend computer. You could end up dying for that.
I've got clones.
But yeah, other than all of that, I'm just going to say for the mug.
All right, thank you for the mug. And I think that brings us to the end of our green room.
Goodbye, green room.
Bye, Green Room.
Thank you, Green Room.
Yeah. Oh, they've left.
Ah, well, that was fun.
Yeah.
It was. So is it klaxon time?
I don't have a klaxon.
Ah.
You don't need the klaxon.
Please go voice though.
Shall I just do it?
Are we all ready then? Let me turn my headset down.
Brace yourself.
Right,
I'm safe if
ready.
no one else is.
For the mug!
Huh? Hey, what?
For the mug.
For the mug.
For the mug.
For the mug.
This is where you cue the credits.
No journey too long and no cargo too small. The profit margins never really mattered at all. We're gonna take the cargo where it's needed today. Super cruising all across the Milky Way. We'll take anything, anytime, anywhere. Loading up the T-9s to the brim with grain. For the mug, for the mug. Yeah, you know just where we're coming from. For the mug, for the mug. Now everybody sing the Hutton Trucker song. For the mug. Flossy always seems to crash into the sun. Swivel likes the pilot on the Xbox One. Alvin at the front, you know he leads us well. Trucking across the galaxy, now everybody yell. For the mug, for the mug. Yeah, you know just where we're coming from. For the mug, for the mug. Now everybody sing the Hutton Trucker song. For the mug, for the mug. Yeah, you know just where we're coming from. For the mug, for the mug. Now everybody sing the Hutton Trucker song. Give me a large pad that I can land on, and I'll give you my cargo and sing you my song. No part 22 light years to go. Cruising to Hutton, whoa, whoa, whoa. No journey too long and no cargo too small. The profit margins never really mattered at all. We're gonna take the cargo where it's needed today. Super cruising all across the Milky Way. We'll take anything, anytime, anywhere. So shout it out loud like you don't even care. For the mug, for the mug. Yeah, you know just where we're coming from. For the mug, for the mug. Now everybody sing the Hutton Trucker song. For the mug, for the mug. Yeah, you know just where we're coming from. For the mug, for the mug. Now everybody sing the Hutton Trucker song.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're very sorry, but that's the end of the show. Everyone's buggered off now, so why don't you bugger off too?